What is up, everyone? My name is James McCool. I'm the owner of PayDirtDFS.com, and today we're going to be doing a Showdown season video. Some people really liked this video the last time that I did it. Some people for the written stuff, so I'm going to try to kind of have a best of both worlds here. I'm going to record the video and then give some slight breakdown thoughts in the article itself as well. So if you have seen my Showdown season articles before, then usually what we do is we start with the highest leverage captains, and then we go to the highest leverage flex plays. Then we look at some of the high duplicated stuff, the stuff that you really shouldn't play in GPPs, but lineups that are likely going to be highly duplicated in the contests. And then we give some kind of final thoughts, some ways that I think the slate should be attacked, and kind of the paths that I think lead to the highest DV. So we're going to go ahead and get started. These are not long videos. We're going to start by looking at a contest sim here running in the contest sims over at PayDirtDFS.com. I'm going to be running a medium-sized contest in a sharp field. I did this a couple times and came up with some pretty similar results. So here is what we're looking at for captains. So as you can see, Gabe Davis represents the highest leverage overall, the highest edge for any captain in the slate. Shows up in the winning frames 25% of the time. His projected ownership there is only 6%. The worst captains that you could have are James Cook and Tyrod Taylor. This makes a lot of sense, considering the Bills are really, really big favorites. Gabe Davis has been a weapon in the red zone as well, so they've been utilizing him quite a bit, much more than last year as well. So it's also very unique. Most people are going to be looking to use guys like Josh Allen. He has the highest projected ownership in the captain, and then Stephon Diggs, second highest at 15%. But Gabe Davis is a completely viable option here and offers a lot of edge. So then, when we go and look at the flex exposures here, the highest overall edge offered is on Stephon Diggs. So we'll zoom in here again. Stephon Diggs, 83% of the time is in a winning lineup in the contest simulations. That is the highest. Second highest is Josh Allen at 81%. But Stephon Diggs only projects for around 46% ownership in the flex. So he gets a lot of edge, nearly twice as much as his projected ownership is how often he is in the winning lineup. So that's a serious difference. When we sort by negatives, we see that Wan'Dale Robinson, the Bills defense, and Dalton Kincaid are the most overvalued players in the flex. Wan'Dale Robinson, projected at 25% ownership in the flex, only ends up in the winning lineup around 7% of the time in the contest simulations. So what that can tell us is a couple different things. For the most part, what it's telling us, Giants are just overvalued in general. This should be a Bills onslaught. This should just be a 5-1. We really are not wanting to worry too much about guys like Wan'Dale Robinson and, Isaiah Hodgkins. Saquon Barkley is even overvalued, and he's coming off of IR. When you have Tyrod Taylor starting over Daniel Jones, like maybe that's an upgrade, but it's still, that the Bills are 16-point favorites here. We're building either 4-2 or 5-1 lineups with the Bills. Let's go ahead and open up the Showdown optimizer here really quick and also take a look at some of the high projected dupes. So we're going to go right over into the optimizer, and what I do to check this kind of stuff is I will go into large field GPP. I'm going to say that we are using over-owned lineups. I want to just run 100 lineups here, and I want to say the min salary can be $45K. And then we're just going to run things, and it'll run through and create 100 lineups, and then we're going to sort it by ownership so that we can see what the highest ownership lineups are going to be, and those are going to be lineups that we expect to be highly duplicated. Again, these are not lineups that you should necessarily use in GPPs, but it's good to understand kind of where the field is going when they are building out these lineups. So if we pop this open, we can see that the highest projected overall optimal here is going to be a Josh Allen captain. If we sort it by ownership, we're getting a lot of Dawson Knox captain. We're getting some Tyrod Taylor, some Stephon Diggs, some Josh Allen. The big things here, we're getting 100% Josh Allen. We're getting 100% Stephon Diggs. We're getting 100% Tyrod Taylor. And we're getting a lot of James Cook, Dawson Knox, or Gabe Davis, right? Like those are kind of the guys. But the big three here are going to be Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and Tyrod Taylor. So from what we saw with the breakdown in the contest sims, Tyrod Taylor is the odd man out there, right? Like we want to lock in Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs in pretty much every single lineup. And we can use Gabe Davis in the captain to even manage our duplications even more. If we get away from Tyrod Taylor and if we get away from James Cook, that's going to really help us manage our duplications in our portfolio. And if you're doing single entry stuff, that's absolutely the way to go. So some final thoughts here overall on this showdown. Just you don't need to get cute. This is going to be one where there are going to be people who look at it and say, oh, well, I can go with a giant stack, or maybe go 3-3, or use Saquon Barkley in the captain or something like that. But man, let's just be honest about what this Giants team is. They're fucking trash, right? They're so bad that as 16-point underdogs, they don't have an alpha wide receiver or tight end. They have Saquon Barkley, who's good, but they don't have an offensive line. Like, they just don't have anything of redeeming quality. They're on their backup quarterback. Their offensive play calling has not been good. Their defense is bad. Like, there's just really no redeeming qualities here. So, for the most part, what we want to do is we want to focus on the Buffalo side, and we really want to focus on a 5-1 lean or a 4-2. If you want to use Saquon Barkley and, like, maybe Wan'Dale Robinson, or, I don't know, a backup tight end maybe. Daniel Bellinger always has a projection in the models or something like that, and Jalen Hyatt, I don't know. That use like a low-owned wide receiver with Saquon Barkley in a 4-2 lean into Buffalo. I think that's fine, but for the most part, man, you're just going to be stacking up Buffalo here. They're huge favorites. The Giants might not score more than 10 real-life points. I don't think there's too much reason to get super different there. The models, for the most part, obviously the cheap guys, but Jalen Hyatt looks like a pretty good play at really low ownership. He's only 1,200. We have his median projected for 5 fantasy points. Dawson Knox looks like a pretty good play overall. He should have some ownership, but pairing him with Gabe Davis and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is probably going to be a pretty decent way to go. The main things here are that you're going to want to avoid putting too much equity into giant stacks. And you're going to want to avoid probably either of the Bills defense or the Bills kicker, right? Like, you don't want to use both because you're going to be too highly duplicated. Something like Gabe Davis with Josh Allen, Bills defense, and the kicker, and then like Saquon Barkley and Wan'Dale Robinson is probably going to be duped a million times. It's maybe okay for small field, but not something that you really want to go with. So this showdown, honestly, is not really that good. We prefer to have showdowns that are more competitive, that have better options to utilize to par down our offensive options. This one is just kind of ugly. I might play it, I might not, but my suggestion would be to not take it too seriously, just stack up Buffalo and hope that you land on the right combo. Thank you guys for the support. Again, my name is James. If you have not checked out PaderDFS.com, I implore you to do so. We have all the sports covered except for right now NHL, except for MMA and NASCAR, I think. So thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you guys take down a solo trophy tonight. See ya.